Hi everyone, welcome to the Breakthrough Academy program. My name is Igor. I'm one of the founders of BTA, and we're really excited that you're here. You're about to embark on a really cool journey where we're going to be working to take your business to the next level. We're going to be developing a lot of the core business skill sets, implementing systems and processes, and doing all of it in a really cool performance culture with the other BTA members while holding you very accountable to your goals and your development as an entrepreneur. So the first stage of this program, as you know, is MAP, the Member Accelerator program, where over the course of 6 weeks, we're going to be showing you the 6 fundamental concepts that need to be in place to profitably and effectively scale your business. So like all of our other training programs, it's very important that you're very well prepared. And with that, you should have received a preparation document as well as a Google Sheet file called an MBP, or a Master Business Plan file, from our Member Success Managers. So this is a short instructional video that just gives you a guideline of what you need to do to get well prepared for the MAP program. So this preparation is quite important, both on your end, so that you think through a lot of these items that we're going to be working on. It's gonna give you a really big benefit in the program now that you've thought through some of these things, as well as for the facilitator of the MAP program that you're going to be working with. It's really going to help them get prepared and get to know you as we're heading into this. So please block off 3 to 4 hours to complete this prep and make sure that you have it into us by the Thursday before your start date in the program. Okay, so I want to go through the preparation file now. I'll dive into a little quick blurb on each of these questions that we're asking of you, and from there, if you need any further clarification, you can always get in touch with us by emailing us or giving us a shout by phone at the 1-800 number. Okay. So as I look into this prep document, the top is pretty straightforward, where you're filling in your name, your company name, industry, and your phone number. Okay, and then we get into some of these questions. So question number 1 is centered around your vision for your business this time next year. So this is an exercise that I always even love to do in all the businesses I've developed. I've always taken a lot of time to think through my vision and my goals quite thoroughly. So I would encourage you to take a little bit of space, maybe even go for a walk, and put some thought into whatever this current date is and next year, what you want your business to look like. So think through how's the business doing financially, who are the key people in your organization, and what are they doing, and think about your lifestyle and what you're doing as the owner, and think through that. We're going to be discussing that as we kind of set up our plans in part 1 of the MAP program. Okay. Another thing, so part 2 here, is to think through currently what are your biggest challenges. This is one of those questions, as I mentioned, that is really good for you to think through this as you start to embark on this journey, and it's also good for us to understand and for your instructor to understand as we begin to work with you on these things. So think about what your current top 3 very tangible and biggest outcomes that you want to get out of the program are, and what your current biggest challenges are in your business. Okay. So those 2 are very much softer visioning type questions. Okay. Secondly, then, the second section on financials and key metrics. Okay, so it says here, refer to the MBP, or Master Business Plan file, that would have been shared with you in Google Drive, and you want to open the budget tab. Okay, so our Member Success Manager would have sent this to you. If you have a Google account, you want to log into this file with your Google account. If not, you're able to log into it with other email addresses. You just want to make sure that you create a Google account with whatever email address you use. Okay, so I have it here. This is what the file looks like. There are many tabs here that you don't want to worry about. We're going to be getting into those later. For now, all that matters is this one tab called the budget. Okay, and specifically, all that matters for now is that you fill in where it says your last fiscal year. So if your fiscal year starts on January 1st, great, fill out the last year. If your fiscal year kind of starts partway through the year, whatever is the last fiscal one, fill it out for that one. You should have your final financial statements from your bookkeeper or accountant. Okay. Now, a couple things. A lot of the cells in this file are locked simply because there are a ton of links. The file is very complex. We use it for managing a lot of the key metrics in our members' businesses, right? But for now, you want to just edit column A if you need to edit some of the chart of accounts and these key accounts here. So if you don't use subcontractors, for example, and you have a separate line item that is, let's say, WorkSafe coverage, and that's a cost, you can edit that just by editing it in column A. The other ones will be locked off, okay? And from there, you want to just put the amounts in column B. The other cells will be locked off. Just edit everything in column B. So the editing of those accounts goes same thing for revenue. If you have a different revenue stream where you're saying like new customer revenue, repeat customer revenue, you can edit it like that, all in column A. So I'm just going to take it back to the way it was. So you want to put in your revenue from last year up here. You want to put in your variable expenses from the last fiscal year here. And then when you scroll down, you'll have all of your fixed expenses. Again, remember where we have these miscellaneous lines, you can edit those for whatever you have in your current chart of accounts. Okay. So again, all you got to do is fill out the budget tab in your MVP file and only the one that says last fiscal year. Okay. Now, one other note that I want to put on here is that the master business plan files are going to get heavily customized for you. So if you run, let's say, a construction company or you're a builder and this sort of framework is not exactly how it fits to you, still just fill in the last fiscal year's budget. We're going to be doing a little session with you one-on-one after the MAP program. And from there, we're going to completely customize this file for you as you begin the implementation journey and you get onto the trek. Okay. The final note here actually just on this master business plan file is remember that it is a living document. So inside of Google Sheets, we see the updates as soon as you make them. So there's no reason to download the file, right, or save it onto your computer. It's just going to create confusion as we're going to have multiple duplicates. So please update this just in Google Drive in this Google Sheet. And the only thing that needs to get sent in is the Word document with these questions. Okay. Coming back to the Word document, some of these, the other financials and key metrics questions. So in question number 4, as accurately as possible, please provide the following numbers from your last fiscal year. So give us your cumulative revenue, the total number of jobs that you've done, okay? The total number of quotes or estimates that you've issued. So this is basically whenever you've given a potential customer like a quote or an estimate, whether they've booked or not, how many of those did you put out? And then the total number of leads. So a lead is somebody who's been interested in a quote or an estimate. They've given you their name, phone number, email address, all that kind of stuff. So the total number of leads. If you don't know exactly how many you've gotten, just approximate it as best as you can. Okay. And question number 5 that we want to know is for this current fiscal year, how much revenue have you produced so far? Okay. And again, you should be able to get those numbers from your bookkeeper or your accountant. We will be working on much more advanced reporting systems, but for now, just get them as accurately as you can. Okay. The next section of questions is centered around organizational structure. So question number 6 is what is your current organizational structure, including the individuals filling each role? So you can submit this in any format that's most convenient for you. You can do it in Excel or write it out here and write in the Word document. But if you could let us know what are all the key positions in your organization, who are the people filling them, and in a really brief description, what do they do? Okay. Question number 7, again, fairly briefly, describe your current workflow. So that means if I'm a customer, what would my experience look like right from start to finish? So from lead to the estimate of the quoting, to the booking of the job, the scheduling of crews, the actual work product being produced itself, the invoicing and the final payment. Think through all the key steps and outline them. Again, remember, this is really good for us to know as we get to know you, and specifically the facilitator of the MAP program you're going to be working with at the beginning. But just as importantly, it's very good for you to think through these things as you're starting the program. Okay. And lastly, in this section, question number 8 is describe your current onboarding, training, and development program for your staff, your team members. So when you hire someone, how do you go through and onboard them? What does your training program look like? And then after they're done training, if you have one, what does your continuous development program look like? And again, if you don't have this robustly thought through, not to worry, let us know. We're going to be diving into this and making sure that you're developing a very robust training program within the BTA program, okay? And final couple little sections here. So for marketing and sales, describe your ideal customer. So think about what customers you have most success with. And if you have a whole residential and commercial group, you could describe those both separately as well, okay? Question number 10, so how do you currently generate leads? So as accurately as possible, just list out your lead sources with the respective percentages of leads that come from them. If you don't know that data, it's fine. Just leave that part out. But most importantly, where do you get your leads from? Okay. Last question in that section. So your step-by-step sales process. Again, if I'm a customer, what's the sales process that I would get taken through from initial lead to actually booking in with you and having the work done, okay? And final question in this last section here, so please list out the top 10 activities that you're typically working on throughout a regular week. So think about, look back in your agenda, what are the big things that are consuming your time, the top 10 activities you're working on, and roughly how much time each week is spent on each one of those items. And then of course you can total them up and see on average how much are you working on a typical week, okay? So that those are the questions. One last quick note here: if you've not participated in digital meetings before, please have a quick look at this short video here. It'll get you orientated to the digital facilitation technology that we'll be using. So please just have a quick glance through that. There's a couple just little applications that you'll want to download onto your computer so that you're able to get set up and we're able to learn effectively in our digital meetings. So that's a quick run through of the preparation document. Again, if you have any other questions, please just email us back, get in touch with our member success manager. They'll be able to help you out with this prep. And you can also give us a quick phone call as well, and we'll get back to you that way. When you are done, just save this file, this Word document, send it back to the member success manager, the master business plan file with your last year's financials in the budget tab. You don't need to save any of that. It'll automatically get saved in Google Drive. So that's basically that. If you any of those final questions, if you have them, give us a shout. Otherwise, we're really excited to see you in the program. In the meantime, please take a few hours to work through this. It'll help us get to know you better, and most importantly, it'll help you get prepared and start to think through some of these things. So again, we're really excited to have you in the program, and we'll see you on the first day of MAP.